Hello everyone, and welcome to the UMA series of videos. In this episode, we bring you a mysterious creature from the island of Madagascar, the Man-Eating Tree. The Man-Eating Tree, as its name suggests, is a carnivorous plant large enough to prey on humans and other large mammals. The legend of the Man-Eating Tree originated in the latter half of the 19th century. On April 28, 1874, a reporter named Edmund Spencer published an article in the New York World newspaper that mentioned a large tree that eats people. This caused quite a stir in the United States at the time. In October of the same year, Spencer elaborated on this strange story in the South Australian Register. The article mentioned that a German explorer named Karl Liche, along with his companion Hendrik, while crossing the island of Madagascar in Africa, came into contact with a local primitive tribe called the Mkodo. They followed along and participated in the tribe's sacrificial ceremony, witnessing the locals surround a woman and force her with weapons to climb a strange tree. According to his account, the large tree was 8 feet tall, looked like a giant pineapple, and had 8 huge 12-foot-long leaves that stretched down to the ground. The tree then extended numerous vines that entangled the woman, and its leaves wrapped tightly around her, digesting her. Then, a viscous liquid mixed with blood was secreted from between the leaves. The tribespeople quickly collected the liquid and drank it, as if it were the nectar of the gods. The Mkodo people were unusually fervent in their pursuit of this viscous liquid. A few days later, when Karl saw the large tree again, he only found white bones scattered on the ground and the already opened leaves. On the island, he also discovered several identical plants that could prey on small lemurs. In that era, the influence of paper media was immense. Coupled with the highly detailed description of the event, the news of the man-eating tree began to spread like wildfire. From the late 19th to the early 20th century, many explorers went in search of the man-eating tree, but none were successful. Coincidentally, in 1887, J.W. Buell, in his groundbreaking work, Sea and Land, described to us a man-eating plant located in South America called the yataveo. The book stated that this plant grows in Central Africa and South America. It has a short, stout trunk and is covered in soft, tough vines that hang down to the ground. The vines are covered with grooves and thorns. When someone enters its vine area, they will move like giant snakes and entangle the person. The thorns will pierce the prey's skin, and it will suck their blood until they are dry. After the stories of the Madagascar tree and the yataveo were spread, reports of man-eating trees from all over the world began to emerge, such as the vampire vine of Nicaragua and the Nubian tree of Nubia. So, does this kind of man-eating plant really exist? As of today, among the more than 600 species of carnivorous plants that have been defined, the largest is the Raja pitcher plant, Nepenthes raja. It can grow up to 6 meters long and preys on small mammals like shrews and rats, but it still has a significant morphological difference from the legendary man-eating tree. Another one, Puya chilensis, is closer to the description of a man-eating tree. It's also known as the sheep-eating plant. It can grow to about 2 meters, but its predation method is passive. That's because its leaves have sharp spines. When animals get close, they can get snagged by the spines and become unable to escape, eventually dying and decomposing into nutrients. But there is no actual evidence that Puya chilensis deliberately captures animals. Also, the man-eating plants that appear in several stories have very similar features. They seem to be tree-like plants, but their predation method is more like that of a giant Venus flytrap. This does not match any of the plant characteristics we know. There are many more records about man-eating trees, and almost all of the incidents are described in great detail. This has led more people to believe that this large carnivorous plant really exists. But in fact, as early as 1888, someone had already explained the Madagascar tree incident. An explanation was provided in the second issue of Current Literature, founded by Frederick. It stated that the legend of the man-eating tree was actually a story fabricated by Spencer. In the same year, Spencer also included it in Wonderful Stories, The Man-Eating Tree. In conversation, he stated that to make the reader feel a sense of horror, what's needed is infinite exaggeration. Soon, starting in the late 19th century, a wave of debunking the man-eating tree began. This trend continued until the 1950s. Almost all popular science publications in the United States had explanations of the man-eating tree incidents. The most famous of these is science writer Willy Leigh's 1955 book, Salamanders and Other Wonders, in which he detailed how it was a hoax. The Madagascar man-eating tree is fake. The German explorer never existed, and there's no such tribe as the Mkodo in the local area at all. Speaking of which, I discovered something very interesting while doing research. I'm sure many of you have heard of the El Basso man-eating tree legend. I firmly believed it to be true. It was only after researching that I discovered it was an internet-spread version of the rumor. It is said to have been discovered in 1903 on the island of Java, Indonesia. Its story is almost identical to the discovery of the Madagascar tree, including the names of the characters. Since the 1990s, the story of the man-eating tree was introduced to other countries, and a large number of media outlets adapted and exaggerated the story. This is how this version came to be. This also led to popular science publications and film and television works of the time treating this story as a real event, including popular science shows and cartoons of that era. In fact, among the more than 5,000 plant species discovered by naturalists on the island of Java, the El Basso species does not exist. To this day, we can often see derivative images of man-eating trees in various film and television novels. They are infinitely strong and agile. Just like Spencer's theory of exaggerated fear, when something we are familiar with suddenly becomes extremely abnormal, it often triggers the deepest panic within us. To this day, the man-eating tree is still listed as an unconfirmed biological entity. The reason is that only the Madagascar tree has been confirmed as a hoax. But legends of creatures like the Yataveo and the vampire vine still exist, unproven. Perhaps at this very moment, somewhere in the world, there is a large, seemingly harmless tree waiting for its prey. As the saying goes, the unknown is always greater than the known. This is also the charm of UMA. All right, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching.